Good day, everyone. Our topic is global food security.
Good day, everyone. This is for educational use only. Our group is allowing our instructor, Mr. Roldan Ardinis, to use this as an educational material.
Good day, everyone. I am here to discuss about the state of the Philippines in terms of food security and during the COVID-19 pandemic. So, all know that COVID-19 was one of the worst pandemic ever faced in the Philippines. So, the Philippines faced a lot of challenges that includes lockdowns, restrictions that disrupted the food chain in the Philippines, leading to difficulties to access in accessing food for many people, especially for those vulnerable communities, such as places where the cases of the COVID-19 is high. So now, let's talk about the challenges. So the first challenges that the Philippines faced was the impact of the impact on agriculture. So during that COVID-19, the impact of in the agriculture was that the laborers or the farmers can't plant or harvest their and transport their goods. This leads to decreasing the production of food productions and increasing the prices of the crops. So agriculture was one of the problem. So next is the income and employment. Like I said earlier, the farmers or the laborers have restrictions due to the lockdown. So because of this, income and employment leads to because of the restriction, a lot of workers lost their jobs, or either their salary was decreased, so due to the restrictions, and for that, other companies will not be bankrupt, so they reduce the salary of some workers. So next is the access to markets. Like I said earlier, the transport from farmers to the market is restricted, and also for the people to market are restricted. So, some places, only one person per house or family can go out and buy some food, but due to the restrictions, only one, so to prevent the spread of the virus. So next is government responses. So how do government response to this during pandemic? So government responses by helping the communities, giving them food supplies in a weekly or monthly basis. So they give canned goods or a rice or a live chicken for them to cook, for them to have a reserve food in case. So the next is and lastly, community initiative. The people, we all know Filipino are initiative for some, because of what we believe in saying is bayanihan in terms in food securities. So bayanihan in terms of food securities was the communities initiatively make a community kitchen, or they build a food bank. So in conclusion, that overall, while the Philippines faced challenges in food security during the COVID-19 pandemic, efforts from both government and communities helped alleviate some of the impacts, ensuring that people had access to food despite the disruption or restriction during the COVID-19. That's all. Thank you.
So, good day sir, I am Engine Cadet Alimer Jumel, and my topic is identify the factors leading to global food security. So, global food security is influenced by various factors including climate change, population growth, land degradation, water scarcity, economic factors, political instability, technology and innovation, trade policies, and nutrition and health addressing. These factors require a multifaceted approach involving stakeholders from governments, international organizations, and the private sectors to promote sustainable agriculture, improve infrastructure, support smallholders, farmers, and ensure equitable access to food resources. Several factors contribute to global food security. So first is climate change. So climate change is erratic weather patterns, extreme events like droughts and floods, and rising temperature impact crop yields and food production. So second is population growth. The population growth, the increasing global population puts pressure on food production system to meet the growing demand for food. So next is land degradation. So land degradation, soil erosion, desertification, and deforestation reduce the amount of arable land available for farming, affecting food production. So next is water scarcity. So limited access to clean water for irrigation purposes affects crop yields and agriculture productivity. So economic factors, poverty and income inequality can limit access to food, particularly in developing countries where food affordability is a significant concern. So six is political instability. So conflict and political instability in certain regions can disrupt food production, distribution, and access, leading to food shortage and insecurity. So next is technology and innovation. So advancement in agricultural technologies such as improved seeds, irrigation techniques, and farming practices can enhance productivity and increases for food security. So next is trade policies. International trade policies and regulation can affect food ability and access by influencing production, distribution, and prices of food commodities. So lastly is nutrition and health. So ensuring access to nutrition food is essential for food security, as malnutrition and related health issues can undermine overall well-being and productivity. So this is the whole summary from the topic. So addressing the factors requires a comprehensive approach involving governments, international organizations, and the private sector to promote sustainable agricultural practices, improve infrastructure, support smallholder farmers, and ensure to equitable access to food resources. That's all. Thank you.
Global food security is influenced by various factors, including agricultural productivity, climate change, economic access, infrastructure and supply chains, political stability and governance, social factors, trade policies, and health and nutrition programs. The COVID-19 pandemic significantly impacted food security in the Philippines with disruptions in supply chains, economic impact, agricultural challenges, and malnutrition. The government implemented financial aid programs, food distribution initiatives, and efforts to stabilize food prices, but the effectiveness varied across regions. Local governments and communities played a crucial role in supporting food security. through community gardens and local food distributions. Key takeaways from the pandemic include enhancing local production, improving supply chain resilience, implementing economic safety nets, promoting sustainable agricultural practices, and enhancing public health initiatives and nutrition education. By addressing these factors, countries can improve their food security and better withstand future shocks, whether from pandemics or other global challenges.
My topic is all about identify the factors leading to global food security and examine the state of the Philippines in terms of food security during the pandemic. Global food security is influenced by various factors including agricultural activity, distribution system, access to markets, economic stability, climate change, and political stability. Efforts to ensure global food security involve providing agricultural practice, investing in infrastructure, promoting sustainability, farming methods, reduce food waste, and addressing poverty and inequality. Examine, examining the state of the Philippines in terms of food security during the pandemic, several factors come into play. First is agricultural productivity. The Philippines relies heavily on agriculture, but the sector faced distribution during the pandemic due to labor shortage, restriction on movement, and supply chains distribution. Second is economic impact. Economic downturns can exacerbate food insecurity as loss of income can limit people's ability to access food. The Philippines experienced economic challenge during the pandemic leading to increased unemployment and poverty rates. Third is distribution system. Lockdown measures and logistical challenge distributed food distribution networks affecting the ability of food in certain areas and leading to price spikes. Fourth is government response. The Philippine government implemented various measurements to address the food security challenge, including providing subsidy, distributing food aid, and support farmers. However, the effectiveness of the measures varied and faced logistical challenge. Fifth is climate change. The Philippines is vulnerable to climate change, which can impact agricultural productivity through extreme weather events such as typhoons and droughts. Overall, while the Philippines has made efforts to address food security during the pandemic, challenges remain in ensuring access to nutritious and affordable food for all segments of the population, particularly vulnerable groups such as low-income households and rural communities. Long-term strategies that addressing underlying issues such as poverty, agricultural productivity, and climate resilience are essential for improving food security in the Philippines and globally. That's all.
So in the case of the Philippines during the COVID-19 pandemic, the country faced several challenges regarding food security. So first is supply chain disruption. Lockdowns and restrictions on movement disrupted agricultural supply chains, leading to difficulties in transporting and distributing food products. So second is loss of livelihoods. Many Filipinos lost their jobs or experienced reduced income due to the pandemic, making it harder for them to afford food. Number three is increased food prices. Disruptions to supply chains and economic instability lead to spikes in food prices, further exacerbating the affordability of food for many households. Fourth is vulnerability of small-scale farmers. Small-scale farmers who play a crucial role in food production in the Philippines face challenges such as a lack of access to markets and inputs, affecting their ability to produce and sell food. Government response. Fifth one. The Philippine government implemented various measures to address food security concerns, including providing financial assistance to farmers, implementing price controls on essential goods, and distributing food aid vulnerable population. Six is community initiatives. Non-governmental organizations and community groups also played a role in addressing food security issues by providing relief goods and supporting local food production and distribution efforts. Overall, while the Philippines face significant challenges in terms of food security during the COVID-19 pandemic, efforts from both the government and civil society help mitigate some of the impacts and ensure that people had access to adequate food. However, ongoing efforts are needed to address the root causes of food insecurity and build resilience to future crises.
Good day, sir. I'm Engine Cadet Lopez Ferdinand Jr. So, my topic is what are the five components of food security? So, first is sustainability, second is resilience, third is cultural acceptability, fourth is gender equality and equity, fifth is governance and policy environment. So, first is sustainability focuses on the long-term viability of food production system, ensuring that they can continue to meet the needs of current and future generation without compromising environmental or social well-being. So, second is resilience, addresses the ability of individual communities and food system to withstand and recover from shocks and stresses such as climate change, economic crisis, or conflict without comprehending food security. So, third is cultural acceptability, recognize the importance of food preference, traditions, and cultural practices in shaping dietary patterns and ensuring that food is culturally appropriate and acceptable to diverse populations. Fourth is gender equality and equity. So, acknowledges the roles and rights of human and men in food productions, assist the decision-making processes, ensuring that food security and interventions promote gender equality and empower margin- marginalized groups. Fifth is governance and policy government. So, refers to the legal and institutional frameworks, policies, and governance structures that influence food productions, distributions, and access. It it includes issues such as food sovereignty, trade policies, land tenure, and social productions programs. That's all, sir. Thank you.
Good day everyone, good day sir, and good day classmates. My topic is all about what are the five components of food security. Number one, availability. Two, access, utilization, stability, and quality. Let me explain to you the first. The first is availability. Refers to the consistent supply of food, whether produced locally or imported to meet the dietary needs of the population. The second is access. Encompasses economic and physical access to food. It includes factors such as affordability, transportation, and distribution channels to ensure that individuals can obtain food easily. Number three, utilization. Addresses the ability of individuals to use food efficiently to meet their nutritional needs. This involves factors like dietary diversity, food safety, hygiene, and appropriate preparation methods. Number four is stability. Ensure that the food supply remains consistent over time, even in the face of various shocks such as economic downturns, natural disaster, or conflicts. The last one is quality. Quality refers to the nutrition, value, and safety and integrity of the food supply. It involves considerations such as nutrient content, absences of contaminants, and adherence to food safety standards. That's all of my topic. What are the five components of food security? Thank you.
Good day, everyone. My topic is what are the threats to global food security. So, as you can see, global food security faces numerous threats that can disrupt the availability, access, and utilization of food. So, these are the primary threats that global food security faces. So, number one, climate change. As you know, we have a extreme weather events. For example, increased frequency, droughts, floods, hurricanes, and heat waves that can damage the crops and reduce agricultural yields. Changing growing condition. Altered precipitation patterns and temperature shift can make traditional farming areas less productive. So next is sea level rise. Coastal agricultural areas may be inundated, leading to lost arable land. So number two, we have environmental degradation. So what are these three causes? So we have one, soil degradation. Overuse of chemical fertilizers and pesticides, deforestation, and poor agricultural practice can lead to soil erosion, reduced fertility, and desertification. So the next one is water scarcity. Over extraction, the groundwater and pollution of water bodies limited the availability of water for irrigation. Next is biodiversity loss. So decline in pollinators and beneficial organisms due to habitat destruction and pesticide use can negatively impact to the crop production. So number three, we have economic factors. Market volatility, fluctuation in global commodity prices can affect the affordability of food. Next is the poverty. Poverty, the economic instability and income inequality can limit people's ability to purchase sufficient food. Next is trade barriers. So tariffs, export bans, and trade restrictions can disrupt food supply chains and increase prices. As you know that our food increases daily because of it. Alright? Next is 4. Political instability. Conflict and war. Armed conflicts can disrupt food production, supply chains, and access to markets. Poor governance, corruption, and inadequate infrastructure and lack of investment agriculture can hinder food security efforts. So we have number 5. Population growth. Increase of demand. Growing population, particularly in developing countries, place additional pressure on food systems. So next is urbanization. Migration to cities and places can lead to the loss of agricultural labor and increased demand for food in urban areas. 6. Public health crisis. Pandemics. So as we know, we face COVID-19. So COVID-19 can disrupt food supply chains, reduce agricultural labor availability, and impact to food distribution. So malnutrition and health issues. Poor health can reduce the productivity of the agricultural workers and increase the need for nutritious food. 7 is food waste. So we have here 2 post-harvest losses. Inefficiencies in harvesting, storage, and transportation can lead to significant food losses. Consumer waste. High levels of food waste at the consumer level in developed countries reduce the overall efficiency of food use. So we have 8. Technological infrastructure gaps. Lack of modern farming techniques. Inadequate access to modern farming technology and practices can limit productivity. Next is poor infrastructure. Inadequate roads, storage, and market access can prevent efficient distribution of food. So the last one is 9. Disease and pets. Crop disease and pets. So outbreaks, the disease and pest can devastate crops and reduce yields. Livestock disease. Diseases affecting livestock can reduce meat and dairy production, impacting to food security. So addressing these threats requires a multifaceted approach, including sustainable agricultural practice, technological innovation, strong economic and political frameworks, social protection programs, and international cooperation. So mitigating the impacts of these threats is essential to achieving and maintaining global food security.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, sir. So, my topic is what are the threats to global food security? So, there are 6 factors of food global security. The first one is climate change. Erratic weather patterns, extreme temperature, and natural disaster can disrupt agricultural production and reduce crop yields. Second, water scarcity. Growing populations and competing demands for water exacerbate shortage, affecting crop irrigation and livestock farming. Third, soil degradation. Soil erosion, salinization, and depletion of nutrients decrease land productivity and limit agricultural output. Fourth, pests and disease. Invasive pests and plant disease can devastate crops, leading to significant losses in food production. conflict and instability, wars, civil unrest, and political instability disrupt food distribution system, hinder agricultural and displaced population, and exacerbating food insecurity. The last is economic factors. Economic factors, poverty, income inequality, and fluctuating food prices can restrict access to nutritious food and vulnerable population. And overall, all factors are addressing these challenges requires a multifaceted approach involving sustainable agricultural practices, resilient infrastructure, equitable economic policies, and international cooperation. That's all.
So my topic is food security is possible? Yes, food security is possible, but it requires addressing a complex array of challenges and implementing a multifaceted approach. So the key factors and strategies to achieve food security include sustainable agriculture, improved infrastructure, sustainable research and innovation, and economic access, policy and governance, climate change mitigation, and education and training, and lastly is global cooperation. So food security is one of the greatest problems face the world. There is fact said that food is enough for everyone in the world, but because of the great changes which happened so rapidly in the world, the rate of food became less than before, and it is difficult to secure it. So food security is very important to ensure that everyone has enough to eat and families can build their communities without worrying about securing their life. To meet global needs, food production must be doubled in the next years in order to solve many issues such as starvation and malnutrition and associated health.
So that is all. Thank you and God bless.